Welcome to Newsmax TV. I'm Kathleen Walter. With us now is Lowell Hawthorne. He's the CEO of Golden Krust Bakery, the largest Caribbean business here in the U.S., and the author of The Baker's Son, My Life in Business. And Mr. Hawthorne, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always good to come and talk about my journey.
Absolutely. Well, you and your siblings immigrated from Jamaica and built a $100 million company with more than 100 locations in about a dozen states. You exemplify the American dream. What advice do you have for a business owner who wants to achieve the same kind of success that you have?
I guess just to begin, the fact that I had two outstanding parents, parents who instilled in me hard work, faith, community spirit, and tremendous love. Having brought the concept here to the United States some 23 years ago, I'm quite sure, like everyone else, if you want to succeed in business, one has to be determined, one has to have a discipline and the drive and desire to be successful.
Lowell, for those who aren't familiar with your life story, can you share it real quickly with us, beginning with your immigration from Jamaica to the Bronx in the early 80s?
As I said earlier, I have wonderful parents. I was born in Jamaica. I have 11 siblings, so I came from a fairly large family. Of course, I have 4 wonderful children myself, and I'm married to a wonderful wife, Lorna, for the past 27 years. I came to the United States in 1981. I've had the wonderful privilege in working for NYPD approximately for 10 years as an accountant, and then I pulled all my siblings together and their significant others and shared a wonderful vision about starting the Golden Krust Bakery, starting what my parents began some 50 years ago in Jamaica. They bought into the concept, they bought into the idea, they bought into the vision. We pulled all our resources together in the tune of $107,000 to start the first Golden Krust Bakery in the Bronx. The concept began there and has grown to over 120 stores throughout the United States. The company currently supplies all the major supermarkets, from Publix to Winn-Dixie to Costco's to all the Dollar Tree stores throughout the country, some 12,000 supermarkets. And as you have articulated, we're able to raise revenue to over $100 million over the last 23 years. So it has just been a wonderful journey, giving back, providing scholarships, providing jobs for our community, and doing what we do best, taking the taste of the Caribbean to the world.
It's such an amazing success story, Lowell. Are there advantages to being an immigrant entrepreneur?
Are the advantages? Like all immigrants, I believe that the only reason why we do come to the United States is because of the American dream, because that's what we dream to be, and that's what we want. So having left Jamaica, a land of sunshine, beautiful climate, the only reason why we do come here is because we want to be successful. And I believe that as immigrants, we do work very hard to get a piece of the American pie. And that is why we are here as immigrants, and that's why we believe that we do well.
So what challenges do you face as an entrepreneur today, more than 20 years after starting your own business?
When we began, of course, there were financial challenges. It wasn't easy getting loans and finding the right employees within the business. Becoming a franchisor, which was very challenging. Having had to put the right system in place, whether it's marketing manuals, compliance manuals, human resources, and just being able to develop what I call a cookie cutter system, a system that is easily duplicated, and a system where the concept could be duplicated throughout the United States. But although we have done that, I still believe that there are enormous challenges that still face the organization, especially for us as a company. One, we are a unionized company. And secondly, as you can imagine, what the future holds for the organization with some of the new rules and regulations as it relates to the upcoming health cares and many others that we all have to somewhat put systems in place and be proactive and prepare for it when it comes.
American businesses are spending an estimated $1.75 trillion on new federal regulations like Obamacare. As a business owner, what do you see as the impact of these regulations?
I believe when one looks at the penalties per employee, is certainly substantial. But I do believe at the end of the day, consumers will have to pay for some of the financial burdens that small businesses will face as it relates to the Obamacare and the regulations that business will face comes next year.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us some insight into, just how much more consumers will have to pay for things such as your products as a result of some of these regulations?
I haven't zeroed in on the exact percentages as it relates to cost,
right,
but I'm quite sure it's going to be significant. We're looking at possible price increase in excess of 10%, and our patties and our meals to cover such cost. Because you have two choices. One, either you pay the penalties or you insured all your employees. And I'm sure most small businesses will not be able to afford that type of insurance that's being imposed on small businesses.
Many business owners feel that if they're left alone by the government, they'll innovate, create jobs, and grow the economy. Now, the Labor Department says unemployment is at 7.6%, and I know that you've created thousands of jobs in your position. How do we get more Americans working again?
I guess like anything else, entrepreneurship is the key. Businesses, as you can imagine, are the backbone to the country's economy. And unless we're able to put systems and fuel the entrepreneurial spirits of all Americans, at the end of the day, I believe that the economy will continue to be in the position that it's into. But no matter what, at the end of the day, small businesses are essential for any growth of any economy.
Has the age of entrepreneurship passed, Lowell, or can it be fixed? And in today's political and economic climate, how can an entrepreneur succeed?
I guess there are still opportunities out there. The small business administrations are still there. One still has access to capital. And unfortunately, most of the capital that you do have access to, it requires equity. It requires that you provide them with your homeowner, whatever you have as far as equity in your home, that still have to be provided before one can be given loan. So I wish if we had an easier channel, an easier pathway to success as a small business.
All right, Lowell Hawthorne, CEO of Golden Krust Bakery. Your story is such an inspirational one. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me. And again, The Baker's Son was written to inspire the next generation of leaders, and all the proceeds from The Baker's Son will go towards education.
Lowell Hawthorne, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.